Right on.
Here we are again. We basically are standing by with a couple of things lined up for you. Right now, I'm standing by with Nick Dixon. Is that correct, sir?
That's right.
And you're the creative director, is that right?
That's right. Volatile Games and Namco working on Dead to Rights.
That's right. Now, Dead to Rights, this is Retribution. We've seen a couple Dead to Rights games in the past. It's been a while. It's been a hiatus since we've seen the series.
That's very true. It's been a long time.
It has been a while, so let's go ahead and catch the folks up at home that might not know even about the original games. What is Dead to Rising? I should say, what's Dead to Rights?
There's a lot of Dead to the
I know,
industry,
there's all
right?
kinds of stuff that's dead around here. But what is this?
Okay, Dead to Rights is a noir game with a noir storyline, but an extremely brutal, visceral game. It's a lot of gun combat, a lot of hand-to-hand, and it's all about a vice cop called Jack Slate, who with his canine companion Shadow tears up the city streets in order to bring justice back to Grant City. We've basically taken the franchise and reinvented it. We've done that because it's been a long time since you've seen the previous Dead to Rights, and we've got a whole new audience out there who won't have played the first game. So we're going to appeal to fans of the original and a brand new audience. So we got it's really putting the boot in reboot, and it's seeing a new origin story for the characters, how they come together. And that's part of the reinvention, but the other is the gun combat and the hand-to-hand and Shadow. Well, in the original game, they were really separated by levels. So you had one level gun combat, one level hand-to-hand. We have gun combat and hand-to-hand and Shadow all on the same combat control scheme at the same time seamlessly. So you can go between guns, between hand-to-hand, send Shadow out to sick a guy from 50 yards, tear a guy's throat out, and it's all there on the pad, wherever you want.
Now, why don't you go ahead and explain a little bit what we're seeing about, like, is this?
Yeah, this is an E3 demo, specifically created for the demo, where Jack has to clean up the Chinatown streets and help the cops out here. We've got the Triads who are out and about and doing some pretty nasty things by taking the train lines down. And Jack is actually after a particular guy really at the end of this run, but he's going to help the cops out. You can see a traditional disarm, but it's all real time, so you can disarm an enemy of a gun, use it against them. They can do the same to you, incidentally. The Triads are actually able to kick the gun out of your hands. The important thing is the combat system is an emergent toolbox. We give you a toolbox of combat mechanics, and we say, look, do with it what you will. Put into it, the more you put into it, the more you get out of it. Use the dog, use the guns, use the hand-to-hand, grab a guy, clinch him, throw him into other guys, and you'll see a battle differently than other players will. So I guarantee you that every single player is going to experience a different series of battles from every other player. It's really about playing with the combat tools.
Now, let me ask you, what's the dog's name to first start off?
The dog's name is Shadow.
Shadow. Oh, well, interesting, huh?
Yeah, it's cool, we were saying earlier, right?
Shadow, he basically, you tell him, like, go get him, and he'll totally
so
attack
you've got
him?
the AI component, very simple contextual command. So very simple command system. I just press up on the D-pad, and he'll tear down, he'll take out a guy and leap over a bonnet and tear his throat out, or what we call the testicle, where he'll grab a guy's groin and pull very viciously. You can also, if you surround by enemies, you've got very intelligent enemies that will pile into you. You have to do 360 combos, or you can call Shadow in to take one of the guys out who's surrounding you. But we've also got playable Shadows. So you've got AI Shadow, but you can take the dog and you can play him for moments of the game.
Now, are you talking about, like, single player, or are you talking about co-op?
No, we're talking single player. But there is a good portion of shadow play throughout the game where it's either stealth-based or you really tear around in savage mode. And it's a hiatus from playing Jack. You know, his control system's very different, and you really have to kind of, when you're in stealth mode, think about how I bark to draw the enemies near me. Do I go around behind them? Do I do a silent takedown where I stuff my mouth over his and kill him silently? It's a really different mode of play.
That's super cool, yeah.
Yeah, it is super cool, but it's a really, really fun game. And you can see one of the ubiquitous takedowns there with a gun, bullet in the brain. It's full-on brutal.
Now, let me ask you, like, this definitely has, I'll be honest, like, I've been sitting up here watching games come through here, like, the last 2 days, right?
Right.
Not to mention all the other games I played. This has a very distinctive look to it do you mind talking about the visual stuff you guys are doing?
We went with a very hyper-real style. I think, and I believe, and the company believes, that you make a game, you should be able to look at a screenshot and say, I know what that game is. Okay, I recognize X game because of its look. And we felt very much that it was the same way. So, you know, it's it's got a hyper-real graphic novel quality to it. You know, the characters have a very hyper-real look to their faces, to their bone structure, to the way that they play and the way they look and feel. We've done the same with the city. The city is a character in its own right. We want it to have a presence within its own game space that tells the story as you go along. So there's a lot of deep history written into Grant City that tells that it was a boomtown gone bust, that it was a place that was once really glorious, and you can see the glory written in the start of the game. It's this beautiful building that you come into, that there is a kind of terrorist activity there, and you can see grand monuments.
Activity.
Well, they're throwing women off a 15th floor balcony.
Whoa. Okay, that is definitely an activity.
It's pretty bad. But you know, look, in the first game, Jack kills like 200 folk, right, as he goes through the game. And we wanted, in the story, that to have meaning within the game. And it's really very important. So what we did is we made it really, really brutal that they throw this woman balcony. But look, if crime happens in a dirty back alley, that's exactly where you expect it to occur. When crime happens in a civic center, well, that's
that's an event.
That's going to stand out. So Jack isn't allowed to break through the barricade. He deliberately takes the notion, I'm going to break through the barricade, I'm going to go there, I'm going to deal with the situation. Maybe he loses his badge along the way, but he makes that action. And I think that's part of the story. But the city has a story to tell, and you'll tell it in the visuals. There's lots of ambient storytelling, both in the look of the city, the news stories that proliferate throughout the game, but also your own story and what you do.
That's a good deal, Nick. All right, so the game is Dead to Rights Retribution. He actually switched it to a different spot we're looking at now, right?
That's right. This is the Shadow Moment. So Jack has faced an enemy that I can't tell you about right now. There's the big enemy within the game. We're leaving that to reveal at another stage. And they've kicked 10 bells on him. He's got a dislocated shoulder. He's really bruised and battered. And it's up to Shadow to look after Jack and defend him from the Triad trying to hunt him down. And he's actually trying to get to a place from which he's actually telling a frame story within the game. So it's a big noir storyline. He's actually at the beginning of the game sat in a bar telling a story to a friend. And this kind of catches up with time as we progress through. But Shadow here is going to tear around. I mean, Shadow, he's like a werewolf. You know, he's 200 pounds of feral Malamute wolf cross hybrid character, and he will just tear through anything. This is much more about protecting Jack.
There you go.
Battling around. Awesome. He's going to maybe bark for this guy and get his attention, and then run out and take him down. You come around, takes a bit of damage, and then there you go. There's the testicle right there for you. But you know, a lot about the game is rewarding the player for investing in it and using this deep combo hand-hand, using the deep gun combat system. We don't tell you what you have to do. We present scenarios to you, we say, do it how you will. And this is the same with Shadow. If you want to use stealth, use stealth. If you want to use savagery, use savagery. And it's all about the choice the player has between them. And really it being just a balls-out fun game. Right. If you want to have a fun game, Dead to Rights Retribution is going to layer on the fun. You're going to go see guys flying around from explosions. You know, it's all going to be at your control, in your hands.
Excellent. Well, Nick, I can't thank you enough for bringing it by. The game Dead to Rights Retribution. Can you tell us when it's coming out, what it's coming out for?
Okay, it's coming out in 2010, and it's coming on PS3 and Xbox 360.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Nick.
Appreciate your time. Thank you.
Right now, we're going to turn our attention towards the Sony booth, where we were checking out the PSP Go. You might have seen it, you know, crazy digital download device that you can play your games on. You've probably seen that. Yeah, it's very cool.
Very cool.
Homer Bar, I believe, was over there checking it out. We're going to go check it out with him. Take it away.